Ah, the sweet sounds of keyboard tapping, brain crunching, mixed in with a squeaking chair. Right, this is me, Pascal from Orangepixel. December 2020, an older game developer.
Hey!
I mean, an experienced game developer with decades of experience.
Come on.
Alright, let's move on. I'm currently working hard to complete Residual, the game I started way back when the world was different, hopeful, full of joy. The year 2020. Well, early 2020, before the outbreak. And no, this is not about zombies, although it does look like I need some extra sleep. This is about a game developer and a mission. Today, I want to take you on a trip called The Road So Far. Let's dive into Residual. Where did it begin? Where are we now? And where is it heading? I mean, where is it heading? Anyway, join me after the intro. Because this was the intro. Alright, bye. Alright, little bit of a different video this week, today, this video. I promised a year in review video that's coming next week. It just was a lot easier to schedule a little extra video in here and do all that stuff next week. And then the planning for 2021 will be the week after, the first video of the next year, which also makes a lot more sense. So I had to come up with an interesting video that I can quickly shoot for today. That's going to be this video. Let's talk about Residual, but not in a devlog way, but where did it all start? How did I get to Residual? How much time have I been putting into it, and where are we now, and what happened to this game in all these months? And the cool thing about that is I recorded almost every step. I think I started in week 3 of development, so there was some stuff already there. Then I started recording and doing almost weekly devlogs and talking about it every week. So if you've been on this channel, you've actually seen all the steps to create this game from the idea I had all the way to now. If you haven't, let me show you. We got a playlist over here on the YouTube channel, playlist, and then over here we have the Residual devlogs, and literally everything is here. 31 episodes, 31 weeks. A lot of stuff has happened. So all the way to last week. So it started here in March. Right. So sorry for the rough videos and moving the camera. I was just doing this very quickly. I got just a few minutes to record this whole video, and every mistake I'm gonna be making will probably be in the video. Let's hope I don't make a lot of mistakes. How did we get from Residual, the idea? What was the idea originally? And how did I turn it into the game? I know the first thing I wanted to create and try was create a planet that's procedural, but not just in the layout, also the look, the graphics on it, the amount of growth on it, green grass, trees, flowers, everything procedural. And that's the first thing I started working on. So I think the first couple of videos actually talk about this whole planet being born and made and graphics being created. And that was my main mission, the thing I wanted to try out. That's usually how I start a game project. I want to try something. I have an idea, I want to see if it works. And on that we build a full game. And in this case, the main idea was a planet that's just procedural and different every time you play it. No Man's Sky is a great example, and ever since I read about that game, I wanted to create something like that, or probably before that. But when they did it, I wanted to do it even more. So that's a great inspiration for this game, No Man's Sky. Honestly, I still haven't played that game. I just love reading about it and looking at it and see other people play it. I don't want to play it because I think I'm either going to be disappointed or stop working on Residual. So I just look at it for inspiration, but I haven't played it yet. Alright, so the second idea I had was no guns. And that's been a hard one, I can tell you that. Almost all my games in all those years have been games with guns. Not all of them, but most of them. And in this case, it's been a bit of a challenge, but it's also been very interesting, because that means I had to think outside of my own box and come up with ideas that work without guns. So even though there are creatures and enemies and things, you can't kill them or shoot them. So how do you interact with things like that? And this game is probably my most sorry, the whole desk is shaking. Sorry. Like I said, a rough video. The whole experience here is that most players will survive this game. This is not a game that's gonna be killing you, destroying you, whatever. I want players to enjoy their stay on the planet. So there's actually an option in the options menu that allows you to always continue, never die. As soon as you die or lose energy and health and stuff like that, the little robot will help you teleport back to the ship, and you'll magically wake up there and continue your mission. You'll have to find food and stuff like that to survive, but you won't be dead. So that's really the goal I had with this game. Just a great experience. All type of players enjoy the stay on the planet and explore, figure out what's going on, find stuff. Very tiny little puzzles, still trying to come up with interesting puzzles, extra puzzles to add to the game, because I know that's gonna add the content and gonna be keeping the player more entertained. But right now we have various bunch of switches that you have to connect, and you have to create resources and combine resources, and there's a bunch of stuff going on, and nothing has involved weapons or guns in any way. So those two missions have so far turned out right and well, and 9 months later we have a game. It's almost like having a kid. I guess I don't have a kid, but probably about the same. Probably not. Probably not. But of course my original mission for the year as Orangepixel was to create smaller games. That kind of failed with Residual. But to be honest, I knew that pretty early in development, and I had a couple of plans. One plan was to create a certain tinier, smaller version than we have now of the game and release that, and then we could continue updating it and see where it went. The other option I had was a Kickstarter, and that's actually the option I decided to go and went with that. We ran a Kickstarter for Residual. It was a low amount I asked for. Mostly because I wasn't sure how to run a Kickstarter, so I wasn't going to go high and then probably fail. I wanted to create a Kickstarter for a certain amount that would allow me to work on this game for about 3 months and then be able to release it early access, and again update it from there depending on how many people enjoy the game. The Kickstarter succeeded. I also talked about that on the channel, so check those videos as well. But something else happened in the Kickstarter. I can't really say a lot about it just yet, but it ended up with Residual having a publisher. So that's also the reason the game kind of grew a little bit more and got a little bit bigger. There was just more room for it. So there is a publisher involved with Residual. I'll talk about that when the time is right. It isn't right now for good reasons, but I'll let you know. So that's the reason Residual is still in development. It's a bigger game. I'm now it's March, so 9 months into game development, like I said just now, and comparable to Ashworld. I think Ashworld was 12 months, Space Grunts 1 was 9 months, so it's somewhere in the range of Space Grunts and Ashworld. So for me that's actually a big game project. Usually I release games between 4 and 6 months of development, and this is a double the size. Ashworld was still one of my favorite games, although I don't think it's appreciated as much as it should be. It didn't reach the audience it should have. It did great financially, but let's hope the Switch version will get a lot of new players, because I think Ashworld it's amazing. Every time I dive into the game, I can't believe I created it. So that doesn't happen with all my games, but with Ashworld, every time I play it, it has so much going on, and that's really one of the things I'm aiming for with Residual. I want it to be perfect or close to perfect and feel like a AAA game in just a tiny package. So let's hope I can make that happen somewhere in the next year. Okay, so where exactly are we right now in terms of development? Pretty far. Most of the required stuff, the features I really need to add to the game before we can release it, most of those are done and implemented. I'm still working on the game, even though I won't be doing devlogs in the coming weeks. I'm still working on the game every day, so there's gonna be a huge update, or a lot of stuff happened in between now and the next devlog. Almost everything I need to add to the game is there. Then there is a list full of ideas and things I want to add to the game, and I don't know how far I get into that list. Also gonna have to do a lot of debugging, a lot of bugs in there, probably, maybe. My bug list is pretty empty, but if other people start playing it, who knows what happens. The publisher will help in that aspect with other people playing the game and giving feedback. So who knows what comes out of it. I also haven't done many play testing. Obviously, if I play the game, I know what to do, I know where to go, I know what's what, and that's easy. But if somebody else plays the game, where do they stumble? What is the problem? Do they understand what to do? And I already had some feedback from Kickstarter backers and from the publisher. And some things aren't logical to new players or to anybody but me. So I have to change some things here and there and perfect it and tweak it and improve it, so that by the time this game gets released somewhere in the next year, it will be pretty much perfect. And it's gonna be hard, there will always be bugs in a release game, but I just want to make sure that the game is as perfect as it can be on release date. So it's gonna be exciting. All right, that's it for this video. It's a short, sweet video about Residual. It's, I guess by the time this video goes live, it's Christmas Eve, so tomorrow's Christmas, and starting tomorrow, daily videos. So it's gonna be interesting. It's short videos, between 5 and 8 or 9 minutes, talking about various topics for game development and game business and my vision on things. So if you're interested in that, make sure to watch tomorrow again at 4 European time. You do the math, same time as always, just a different day. And I'll be back talking about Residual in a couple of weeks. And next week, I promise, I'll have that end of the year review, talking about the whole year for Orangepixel, all the releases done, all the subscribers and social media stuff, and also talk about the money, because I know a lot of people want to know about the money. So we'll talk about that as well, but briefly. But we'll talk about it. That's it. Enjoy the next couple of days. Bye. Because this was the intro.